What do you wish you did more of, but you can't get yourself to do it, at least not regularly? Because certain unpleasant emotions and sensations go along with that activity or experience, like fear or discomfort. This activity could be reading, exercising, setting boundaries, meeting with people, going to see a doctor, setting boundaries, communicating your needs, getting started on time, or resting and slowing down. In this video, I'll explain what happens when we're overly focused on avoiding and how to get out of that pattern and start living. Hey everyone, welcome to Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership. I'm Maika, psychologist, and on this channel I talk about how to guide yourself to the life that you want to live. Today's video is about an approach to life that we all know and use, and that is influencing our decisions moment to moment. Avoidance. Avoidance of discomfort, unpleasant emotions, and sensations. Who likes experiencing anxiety, fear, discomfort? Principally, avoiding these types of experiences is part of our healthy survival instinct. And in some situations, it makes absolute sense to avoid, like avoiding getting involved in a fight that has nothing to do with us and that we can't contribute anything positive to, or avoiding exercising beyond our training level and what would be healthy, or avoiding certain social media accounts and TV shows because they would pull us into directions we don't want to go into. But we can also avoid too much, and that's when it becomes an obstacle. And this is the type of avoidance that I want to address in this video. When we're overly driven by avoidance, it means that we are missing out on experiences that are important to us because we're allowing fear and discomfort to hold us back and make our choices for us. Fear and discomfort are holding us back from putting ourselves out there, taking the steering wheel of our life into our hands and making proactive choices for ourselves. Instead of pursuing what we want, we focus on avoiding what we don't want. The problem with this is that it limits our life more and more. The more we avoid, the less will be left that invigorates us, makes us happy, and fills our life with meaning. The more we avoid, the less opportunities we have to build and grow our confidence and courage. The more we avoid, the less motivated we'll be to actually pursue something with our whole being. And the more we avoid, the less we will take the steps forward on the path of our life, and the less we'll take care of and nourish what we have. A happy life requires a balanced and intentional use of avoidance. We need to know when it's helpful to avoid a situation, which often means deciding against action, and when it would be better to approach a situation and get going. And so that it'll be easier for you to make these types of decisions. Next, I will explain the principle of avoidance, what happens when we avoid, so that you can remain aware of it and factor it into your decisions. This graph illustrates the relationship between anxiety, discomfort, unpleasant emotions and sensations, and avoidance as time in a situation progresses. So let's say someone called Susan has made the decision to be more courageous in relationships and more authentic in interactions. Now she's sitting at the lunch table with a colleague, and this person starts talking about something that aggravates her. And she feels this impulse to get up and leave, but that seems over the top if she could just get herself to change the topic. As soon as she has that thought, she feels anxiety rising. Her muscles tense up, her heart beats faster, her palms get sweaty. Now, she can decide to put an end to the anxiety immediately by sacrificing her values and deciding not to say anything, not to change the topic, by just going along with whatever the other person wants to talk about. So what happens then is that the anxiety goes down immediately. Next time she is in a similar situation, and this is what avoidance does, is she will experience anxiety even sooner and it'll rise more quickly. This is because by deciding to sacrifice her values and avoid changing the topic, avoid being authentic, showing herself, she taught her brain that, whoa, that was dangerous. The only reason we survived that was because we went along with it and kept quiet. We should do that again next time. So the next time she's in a similar situation, her brain will try to move her into that direction again because it's recognizing that pattern. And the second choice she has is to do what's important to her, even though that means the anxiety won't go away immediately. To speak up and change the topic. And the thing that her brain will take away from that path is that the anxiety either goes down even while she's changing the topic, or it'll reach a plateau until that interaction or that shift of topics is over. So if she chooses to do that, she teaches herself and her brain that she can do what's important to her, even if it means that it goes along with anxiety. She's giving herself the chance to build confidence and courage and experience how rewarding it is to do what matters to you. And the next time she's in a similar situation, her anxiety will come in later and also not rise as quickly. Until she's again at that point of making the choice between avoiding or pursuing what's important to her. Another example is Andrew, who has been wanting to exercise more. But every time he thinks about including it into his plans, he's repelled by the thought of sweating, having to strain his body, and having to give up some of the other things he could be doing in that time. So again and again, he chooses avoiding those unpleasant sensations, that discomfort, over the countless benefits of exercise. And the more he goes down that road, the stronger that part in him gets that doesn't want to put up with those unpleasant experiences that are associated with exercising. How to prioritize approaching over avoiding. If there's something in your life that you'd like to do more of, but can't get yourself to do it, here's some questions to reflect on to build courage and motivation. Number 1, which unpleasant emotions and sensations am I avoiding by not doing this? To become aware of what is driving your avoidance. Number 2, what am I missing out on? What is more important to me? Avoiding short-term temporary discomfort or the short and long-term benefits this action would add to my life. When we make choices unconsciously, we're always weighing costs and benefits. And this question helps to bring that process into our awareness so that we can be more intentional about it. And if there's a discrepancy here that's frustrating us, we will also become more aware of it through these questions. Number 3, am I willing to go through this discomfort for the sake of what's important to me? If you intentionally commit to being willing to go through that discomfort, that anxiety, those unpleasant sensations for the sake of what's important to you, you won't be caught off guard when that unpleasant sensation arises and out of shock jump into avoidance. And the last one, what was the experience like? Was it as uncomfortable as I thought it would be? What was great about it during and after? We often have negative biases about things that we avoid, and this question helps to correct those and strengthen that part in you that wants to keep going because this is important to you. Allow yourself to be pulled by what you value, by what brings you happiness, health, and success, rather than orienting your life around what repels you. When you're pulled by your values and you're willing to go through discomfort and fear for the sake of what makes you come alive, it's a lot easier to make choices that you're satisfied with. Shifting from avoiding to approaching means acting with intention and courage. It's shifting from being stuck to living. I wish you all the best for your next small step on your journey from avoiding to living. If you want to stay in touch, remember to subscribe. Till next time, take care. And remember that avoiding makes fear and discomfort grow, whereas going after what's important to you allows motivation and confidence to build.